Hi, I'm Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge, and you're watching an interview with Arnella at Come Backstage.
So, hi Mark, nice to
Hi,
meet you. How are you
nice to
doing?
meet you. Very good.
Good to hear. And All the Bridge's Last Hero is out for exactly 1 year and 6 days today.
Wow.
And live at the O2 Arena in London is out now. What were your highlights the past 12 months?
Probably the biggest highlight was playing Royal Albert Hall with the symphony just about a week ago. So it was that was an intense couple of shows, and we filmed that, so that will be out maybe springtime next year.
Oh, good
Yeah,
to hear.
yeah.
And why did you choose to record exactly the show in London?
Well, that was the only place that the symphony or the orchestra was going to be, so we set it up for those 2 days. But London, the Royal Albert Hall seemed like the perfect place to film it. You know, it's such a classy place. It's they have history of bands getting in there with orchestras, so it seemed like the perfect fit.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And you're 1 year on the road right now with your latest album, Last Hero. Did you ever do this before with a record?
Well, actually, we've been touring months and months before the record even came out. So we went on a 4-month tour before that. So we've been touring. This is the most we've ever toured on an album, and I'm ready for home.
Do you miss home sometimes?
I do. Especially this time of year, the holidays coming up, Halloween. My house is all decorated, and I don't get to spend it with. I get back the day before Halloween.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Thank God. So
Yep.
at least you get to see your friends and family
Yep.
for Halloween. Big party.
Scott Phillips, our drummer, usually has a party.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's coming up next for you?
We're going to tour here until Halloween, and then go home for a month, and then go back out in the States for 3 weeks or so, and then I'm going to the studio with my solo band.
Sounds good. And is it true that you never had guitar lessons, but that it's all self-taught, and all your skills come from the work you did by yourself?
Yeah, I took one guitar lesson, and it was one of those things where I had to buy a Mel Bay book, and they tried to teach me Silent Night, and it's like I'm not
Fits you perfectly.
Yeah, I just wasn't interested, and so I didn't go back, and I just decided to buy tablature books and learn by myself.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Would you say it's easier for persons to learn it by themselves, or is it maybe easier to have a teacher who tells you, hey, this and that?
It's much easier to have a teacher. Yeah.
Why didn't you take one?
I didn't have the resources, I just there wasn't a teacher nearby. It was expensive. I was turned off by the first lesson I had.
Okay.
So I decided, and I liked songwriting a lot. I wasn't as much into being a magnificent guitar player. I just wanted to write songs and sing. And for many years, I was a terrible guitar player.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, I was awful. My brothers used to make fun of me, like I couldn't play a song from start to finish.
What a nice guy.
So yeah, but I was developing how to become a songwriter and how to develop my own sound, and I'm glad I did it that way, because if you have a guitar teacher your whole life, or you're following one guitar player, two guitar players, you start sounding like those players. So learning on your own, you kind of develop your own sound.
And it turned out pretty good, as we can all see.
Yes. Thank goodness I stuck it out.
And who writes most of the lyrics in All the Bridge? Is it you or is it Miles?
Well, me and Miles write all the music and melodies and whatnot, and then Miles takes over and finishes the bulk of the lyrics.
Okay. And you've been very active in writing and recording your solo stuff with Tremonti. When can we see another Tremonti record coming out?
I think it should be May 26th, I believe. We haven't even gotten to the studio yet, but the plan is, right around that date, and we'll be going to the studio mid to late January.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And if you should convince a young person to listen to rock music, which song would you show him or her, and why? It doesn't have to be from All the Bridge.
Geez, it's tough. I'd hand them the Metallica Master of Puppets album. That's what made me a fanatic.
Is there a special song about it?
The whole thing, from the very beginning of Battery, is just the beginning is so beautiful, and then it kicks you in the face, and just I love it. So, I mean, if I could pick just one song, I don't know, maybe Kashmir, Led Zeppelin Kashmir.
So not Metallica.
It depends on the type of person. If I'm sitting down with you know, somebody I think is going to be a metalhead, I'd say Metallica. But if it's more of a person who's, you know, into pop culture, maybe more Led Zeppelin.
Sounds good. And if you could have kind of a fantasy dinner with 3 persons of your choice, who would you invite? It doesn't matter if they're still alive or not, or however.
Alive or dead?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, I'd probably do all the past people. I'd probably say that's tough. Maybe. Gosh, that's tough.
I know.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Jesus.
I hear Jesus a lot, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be, you know.
It'd be quite interesting, though.
It would be.
Third person at your table.
Third person at my table. Oh, man. I'll go with somebody living. Michael Jordan.
Sounds good.
Yeah. What a mix.
What a mix.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your time, Mark. I'm very looking forward to your show.
Thank you.
And the last words are yours.
Thanks for supporting us. Come check out our shows, and thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.